Okay, it's time to talk about gender. I'm tired of it. Quite frankly, I'm tired of it. Um, for example, I want to shave my beard. I want to shave it off. It's it's not it's not thick or long enough to be like hot, but it's just uncomfortable. It the feeling when I need to trim like right here, the feeling of the hair like touching my lip, like I hate it. I have to trim it like all the time. And it's really scraggly right now. It does this thing where it goes like this and a little bit like up in the middle, and I hate it. Better. um, I want to shave it off. But when I do, I'm misgendered by strangers 100% of the time. 100% of the time. All of the time. It doesn't matter how low I pitch my voice. It doesn't matter if I talk from lower in my throat rather than like up in my nose. It doesn't matter how much effort I put into it. It doesn't matter if I'm dressed as masculine as possible. The fact that I have long, colorful hair and no facial hair, and I was on T for a little bit, but I didn't go on long enough for it to change my facial features enough to look more masculine, or at least masculine enough to be read as a dude, to be perceived as a dude. So I want to shave it off, but I can't. I don't feel like I can. Because if I do, and I get misgendered 100% of the time, it's soul crushing. It's soul crushing. I can't exist like that in the world. I just can't. I've tried, and it sucks to the point of extreme depression and anxiety. And extreme. And gender dysphoria, obviously. But the gender dysphoria leads to extreme anxiety and extreme depression. So I can't do it anymore. It's detrimental to my health to be perceived as a woman. But on the flip side, the more I hide myself, the worse my mental health gets as well. So I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. If I buzz all my hair and I dress really masculine, then people think I'm a dude. People think I'm a man, but I'm not expressing myself the way I want to, the way that feels like it's actually me. I'm putting on a persona, which I've done the majority of my life, and I'm tired of it. And not only am I tired of it, I can't do it anymore. It's detrimental to my health, my mental health. Hiding who I am. I don't want to say the word because then no one will see my video. Because YouTube doesn't like it. But my mental health was so affected. Like I got so bad, my condition got so bad that I was hospitalized. For perspective, I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna cry. Like I can't do it anymore. But the more I'm authentic, the more I'm myself, the more I'm misgendered, because my authentic self is a little bit feminine. So people think, woman. And like I said, it's soul crushing. It's detrimental to my mental health. puts me in the hospital. I can't do it anymore. And similarly, I can't hide all of my neurodiversity anymore. I've done that the majority of my life as well. I purposefully stifle myself and the things that I feel like I need to or should be doing. Things like rocking. I don't feel like I can rock like side to side unless there's music and I'm doing it in time with the music, because then there's a reason for it. If there's no reason for it, I don't feel like I can do it because it's seen as weird. And I know what's seen as weird because I've studied it, not because it's a natural thing to just know what's weird or viewed as weird or viewed as normal. The only reason I, for the most part, most of the time, understand what is considered weird and what is considered normal. The only reason I know what I know about human interaction is based on years and years and years of study, examination, picking things apart, trial and error, lots of that, lots of trial and error. And yet still, even with all of my knowledge, even with all of my practice, I practice in the mirror. I still do that. Like, even without realizing I'm doing it. Like, I'll make a face at myself in the mirror and I'll go like, I'll before I make it, I'll think of like, I'll be thinking of a conversation I'll be having soon, for example. And I'll think of something that I want to say and how I want to say it and how I want my emotions and body language to come across. Like, I'll imagine what I want to be presenting myself like. And I'll make the face that I'm planning on making in that scenario. I'll make the face just to see if it's actually accurate to what I'm feeling, to what I think I'm doing, because I don't know how to actually make facial expressions that fit what I'm feeling and how I'm trying to interact. Like, it doesn't come naturally to me. I have to practice that shit. It's an active, ongoing thing that I have to keep practicing. And when I don't do it for long periods of time, for example, recently, I've been hardly able to leave the house. So when I don't practice for long periods of time, I get worse at it. And it's a cycle. It's an awful, awful cycle, because then I don't practice all of these social quirks, social oddities. They're odd to me. Like the back and forth of conversation. It feels, not all the time, but a lot of times with strangers, for example, it feels like there's a script that I'm trying to follow. I actually have a script that I follow at work. I have specific things I ask in a specific order because I know the way people are going to respond on average. On average, people are going to say, like, if I'm asking, trying to think of things to say without like giving away where I work. I'm a cashier, and I'll ask if someone has a rewards card with them. I specifically ask if they have it with them, because so many times I've asked, do you have a rewards card? And they'll say yes. And then they'll just stand there. And I'm like, okay, well, do you have to give me a phone number? Do you have to enter a phone number into the pin pad? Do you have it with you? Like, whoa, what's going on in your mind? So if I ask specifically, do you have your card with you? Then I can get a precise answer for the question that I'm asking. Because what I'm really asking is there something that I can physically have? Do you have your card? Do you have it? Not, do you need to enter your phone number? Do you have it? Give me the answer I'm looking for. Yes or no. Easy, very easy, but always misunderstood. Not always, but very often misunderstood. So I ask very specific questions in a very specific order, and I do the same exact thing every single time, with little variations here and there, depending on what people say or do. For example, some people walk up to the register and right off the bat, immediately, hand me their rewards card. Before even saying hi, just here you go. So that I actually appreciate a little because I know exactly what's going on in this interaction. You're giving me your rewards card. Thank you. I know what to do with this. But that's a very controlled situation that I'm mostly in control of. I hold most of the power in that conversation, in that give and take of conversation. So I'm able to use that power to make the conversation go in a way that I can understand fully. Because if I don't, if that's not the situation that I'm in, if it's, I don't know, I don't go to bars anymore because I'm sober, to be honest, I've never gone to bars that often. But for example, let's say I'm at a bar drinking a Shirley Temple or Roy Rogers. Side note, one time I asked for a Shirley Temple with Coke instead of Sprite because the last 3 times before that I had asked for a Roy Rogers and been given a blank stare in return. Like they didn't know what I was asking for. So I asked specifically for a Shirley Temple with Coke instead of Sprite. And the guy was like, "You mean a Roy Rogers?" And the way he said it was so condescending. I was just like, I was gonna give you a tip, even though there's no alcohol, but I don't know if I want to anymore. Like, damn. Like, it's called a Roy Rogers. Like, go fuck yourself. Anyway, let's say I'm at a bar and I'm interacting with someone I've never interacted with before. That doesn't seem like me. Trying to come up with a realistic scenario. Okay, let's say I'm at the grocery store and I'm looking at something in the aisle and someone asks me if I can reach something for them. Someone shorter than me asks if I can reach something for them. I'm not used to this scenario. This scenario doesn't happen often. It's happened maybe twice. I'm not that tall. So someone asking me for help reaching something like high up, that's a rare occasion. So I don't know what the social script is. I don't know what the flow of conversation is supposed to be. This isn't anything like, do you have your rewards card? Or funny weather we're having today, right? Like, this is, hey, can you reach that for me? And me going, yeah, sure. Let me try to reach that for you. And I don't know what they're gonna say after that. I don't know if they're just gonna go, thanks, bye, and walk away. I don't know if they're gonna go, oh, actually, I didn't want this one. Can you get me the other one instead? Sorry about that. In which case, I always feel bad when people apologize to me, so then I try to make them feel less bad or less sorry. So, oh, no, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. Yeah, of course I can get that for you. And this is me not working in the store. This is just me being another customer that a different customer is asking for help from, to clarify. So it's not a situation that I'm in often or like ever. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's expected of me. I don't know if they're gonna want to make small talk after that. I don't know. So, trying to think of where I was going with all that. Gender and social norms surrounding gender. These are all things that prevent me from leaving the house because I'm so anxious about them. And then the less I leave the house, the harder it gets because the less practice I have. I only see my roommates so often. So, and I've come to know them. So it's like not really practice for me to interact with them. A little. It is a little. It's still kind of practice because it still takes effort. But to be fair to myself, it takes effort for everyone, for me to interact with anyone, for me to interact with family who I've known my entire life. I still, especially if I haven't interacted with them in a while, it takes effort. It takes energy. It takes a lot of brain power. And having to do this, having to parse through all of the little bits of information that I'm receiving at any given point in time when I'm out in the world. And that's not just when I'm interacting with people, it's when I'm around people, not even interacting with them. I'm always worried I'm gonna do something or trip over something or knock into something, do something that's gonna draw attention to myself. I'm like, don't perceive me. I do not exist. For all intents and purposes, I do not exist. I'm not here. Just ignore me. Because I'm terrified of the way people are going to perceive me. I'm trying to get to the point of being like, I don't care. I don't care how people see me. And also, it's none of my business how people see me unless they want to make that known, how they see me. Like, if they want to make how they see me known to me, then otherwise it's not my business. Just like it's not any of their business what I think of them. Or what I'm thinking at all. But so it's hard to leave the house. And it's getting harder and harder. And a big part of that is me not being able to hide who I am anymore. So again, another video about not hiding who I am. But I'm hung up on it. I'm stuck on it because it's a big part of my life right now. And I can't seem to get to the place of not caring what other people think. I care so much and I hate it. It sucks. I do care less than I used to care. And there are some days where I'm like, shit, I might go out in a skirt today. With my beard out. I did that once in public. Once. That was to a Todrick Hall concert. And I was pretty proud of my outfit. I had matching houndstooth leggings and a bag. And my nails were black and white. And I had a strappy thing over my black shirt. I loved my outfit. And then I forgot to take my glasses off for the picture that I got to take with him because I got to meet him. I got to meet Todrick Hall. That was cool. But yeah, that took guts. That took a lot of guts. And that's the kind of thing that I would have used alcohol for previously. Just to be able to do that. So I'm pretty proud of myself, actually, for being able to do that. I would like to do that more. I would like to do that again. I want to dress in even more feminine ways, like in ways that are even more feminine. But I'm terrified. And it's not, here's the thing, it's not just me being terrified of the emotional distress that it causes me to be misgendered. It's not just that. It's also safety. I'm also concerned about my safety. Because, first off, if people just see me as a woman, like only woman, even with my beard somehow, that's another thing I'm frustrated about. I don't remember if I brought this up earlier, but like, on the one hand, I'm glad that women can still be considered women and feminine even while having facial hair, because that's something that's been so stigmatized. Like any even little hairs on a woman's chin it's been so stigmatized, to the point that I used to like obsess over not having any kind of hair on my chin, or my upper lip. And looking back, it's because it was too close to the truth, too close to my actual gender identity. So I had to remove it at all costs. Like, there can be no hair. I was obsessed with making my eyebrows perfect too. I was like, I must look perfect and feminine, basically. That was more high school and right after high school. Because before that, I was a total tomboy and kind of actively didn't want to make myself look more feminine. But then puberty hit, and every now and then I'd get like a dark little hair, and it would send me spiraling. I had to take care of it immediately, because like I said, it was too close to the truth. So if anyone saw it, uh-oh. Oh no. No. But so on the one hand, I'm glad that women can still be perceived as women and as feminine, even having any amount of facial hair. But on the other hand, it doesn't help me. So there's that. I forgot where I was going with that too. It's been 23 minutes. I think that's probably enough. Yeah, so I'm frustrated, as usual. Frustrated with gender. I'm frustrated with communication, I guess. I'm frustrated with the way people perceive me, or at least tend to perceive me, or at least the way I think people tend to perceive me. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Actually, I'm still exhausted. Although I've had more like anxious energy. I'm still exhausted, but I've had this pent up I have to pace. I'm surprised haven't been pacing making this, probably because I don't want to show off my room because it's a mess, and I can't do this in the rest of the apartment because my roommates are home, and one, I don't want to bother them, and two, I don't want to feel weird talking to a camera about all this personal stuff. But I want to have this. I want to have this record for the future so I can look back and go, oh wow, I've come a long way, you know? So I guess that's what I'm hoping for with these videos. Anyway, tired of gender. Tired of social niceties. Tired of a lot of shit. Okay, I guess that's it. I'm gonna keep working on that, I guess.